Hi guys, this is going to be a very quick tutorial. Well, I'm going to try and keep it as quick as possible on doing the er9x mod to a Turnigy 9x transmitter. What I've got here is a board that you can buy either from Hobby King or eBay. This one was from eBay. Purchased it through eBay because I could get it quicker, and it cost me I think about $4 something cents, so it wasn't very expensive at all. So you need one of these guys. You're also going to need some ribbon cable. Now I got this from one of my PCs, so any ribbon cable. We only use 6 of the strands, and I purchased one of these connectors from an electronics store. I think this cost me about 25 cents, and I bought 2 of those, so 50 cents. I bought one for my radio and one for my son's. And tools we're going to be using is essentially going to be basically you're going to need your radio controller. You're going to need some wire cutters or wire strippers, snips, little wire cutters, and a screwdriver to take the radio apart. Now I've done some work just to speed things up. This is my son's radio, which I'm hopefully not going to brick, but what I've done is actually cut a hole down here, and this is where I'm going to be actually putting the this connector. So I want it always available so we can just plug straight in. I don't want to put it in the battery compartment. The other places I thought about putting it was either in here, because we're not actually using this module, in there, or in the battery compartment there. So that's going to be your choice, but this is where I've chosen to mount it, and we'll step through and go through the soldering now. Okay, so what I'm going to be using is this short cable, and we have 6 strands, and I'm not sure exactly how well you can see that, but it's actually labelled, or it's got a red marking on one leg. That's going to be leg number 1, or pin number 1 it'll go to. I've already tinned one side, and I'm going to tin the other side. So the first thing I do is split this apart. I just use my fingernails for this. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this or not, but this is just the way I do things. So there we go, they're all split up. Now what I do is line them all up, and what I'll do is take a little bit off. There we go. They're all set to go now. Okay, now comes the tinning process. Now, this is kind of awkward to do because I have an iPhone 4 in my way, so I'm going to be trying to work around it. That's one done. I lost one strand there. Okay, and that's ready to go. The thing we're going to be doing is tinning this guy, just the back of it, and what we're going to be using are 6 of these pins. Now I'll try and show this as carefully as possible. Not sure how well you can see that, but anyway, here we go. So we have pin number 1, number 2, then we go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to be using pins 1, 2, then on the other side we're going to be using pin 5, 7, 9 and pin 10. So they're the ones we're going to tin, and if you have a look here you can see a little slot there. So we're going to start by tinning pin 1, pin 5, so that makes this one 7, 9, I can probably do 10s underneath, but I can probably do it this way. Yep, 10, and this is pin number 2 underneath, pin number 1. So they're already tinned. Okay, so what I've done with my son's radio is I've removed the screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've also removed the battery. You don't want to be doing any soldering with the battery in place. Pop this over to the side, and I've also disconnected that connector that goes to here, otherwise you won't be able to flip the top off. And what we're going to be doing is soldering to pin number 1, and then we have number 2, and then we have, this is 5 followed by 7 followed by 9 down here, which is close to that surface mount component, and 10 is the ground one, which is down here. So we'll step through those now. Okay, so just to simplify things, what I've actually gone through is actually tinned some of these pads. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one there. It's just going to simplify the soldering. So first thing we're going to be doing is connecting pin 1. And I like to do these in order, it just makes it a little bit easier. And what I'm going to be using is the one with the red line on it. Now it depends what sort of cable you use. The first one should be marked with something that signifies which is the first one. So we're going to start with that one. We're going to do number 1, then we're going to do number 2, number 5, number 9, sorry, number 7, number 9, and the number 10. So that's the sequence we're going to be going in. So first things first, we're going to do number 1. So that's number 1 done. Number 2 is, this is going to go to pin number 2, is out here somewhere. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible, and I've got a mobile phone in the way, which doesn't help. It's number 2 done. Next we're going to do is number 5. Which is all the way down here. That's number 5 done. Next one is pin number 7, which is over here. If I get this guy going the right way. It's number 7 done. Followed by number 9 is next. So our second last one. This guy's a little bit long. I'm actually worried about him shorting something out, so I'll take a little bit off. And that's number 9 done. And we're up to number 10, which is this last one here. And that's number 10 done. So that's all the soldering done. So we know this is number 1 here because it's got the red. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is soldering this guy in place. Okay, flip him around this way. Now what I do is I don't start with number 1, I'll actually start with pin number 2. Because he's sort of underneath, it's going to be easier to solder him and get him out of the way. That's pin number 2 done. Now I'm going to start working from the top. I'll do pin number 1. Oops. That's pin number 1, followed by pin number 5. This is the next one. The next one is pin number 7, and this was number 9. And for number 10, it's going to be easier to flip this guy over and do them underneath. is opposite pin number 2 all the way across. So that is all the soldering done. So all we have to do now is, if you can see this, so there you go, it's basically popped in place. All I have to do now is basically position that cable and put some hot glue in there, and that's what I'm about to do. I don't think you need to watch that. Okay, so it's all hot glued in place now, and that looks pretty good to me. It's just a matter of now just closing this up, so just make sure you remember to connect this connector up into there, and we should be right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go through the installation process. First things first, this is the board that I purchased, and it's from eBay. I'll put a link in the description, but I don't think you'll actually need it. This board comes with a driver that you need, which I'm about to install. So what we'll do is, depending on which one you've purchased, download the USB driver for it, which I'm going to go through now. The driver is this one here. Okay, so I'm going to save the driver over here. This is where it's going. I've basically created a folder called er9x in my downloads. Okay, that's downloaded okay. And what I want to do is get that driver out of there. And that's the driver done. I'll delete this one. Okay, the next thing I'll do is basically plug in the USB programmer, and plugging it into my Mac. Okay, connect to Windows, and you won't have to do this if you're using a Windows machine. You can install this one on a Mac too, by the way, so okay, that failed, which is kind of what we expected. If I could spell it, it'd be good. So I'm going straight to Device Manager, and I'm going to find that USB device, which is this one here. I'm going to right click and select Update Driver. I'm going to browse for it. Next. And what we'll do is go browse, so navigate to where that driver was. I can't remember which one it is, I think it's this one here for mine. Open. Okay. Next. Window doesn't like it, but that's okay. So there you go, it's found it. And that's pretty much ready to go. So that's plugged in and that's working fine now. We can close this off. Next thing we'll do now is go to here, browser. And what I did was I did a Google search for er9x, and there's two links. The first two, one's to the er9x firmware and one's to eePe. So first thing we'll do, we'll get the firmware. Now I think eePe will actually do it itself too, but I'll do this anyway just in case. And we'll open this guy up too. So I'll grab the firmware first. And stable is the one we want. Whoops. Let's do that again. Right click, because it's a hex file. And we're going to save it. We can put the hex there, that's fine. We can close that off. I don't need this anymore. And we'll download the Windows installer. Save file. what we'll do is download the Windows installer. Save it there. Okay, and that's fine. So we can close this guy off. I don't think we need the browsers anymore. Close tabs. Okay, so first thing I'll do is install eePe install. Yes. We agree. Installation complete. And we'll launch it. It's saying a new version is available. Download it. Yeah, why not? That's there. Save. Yeah. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so once it's loaded, what you need to do next is just go into the configuration. And the only thing I had to do was just change this to USB and basically left these at the defaults, and that seemed to work fine. I press OK. So this is pretty much ready to go now. So what we will do is plug this guy in. Now what I'm going to do is zoom in on the actual radio so you can see what's going on. Get the angle just right, so hopefully you can see okay. That looks pretty good to me. Now it's in the off position, and all I have to do is plug this guy in. I've got a switch error. Okay, as you can see, it's a Turnigy. That's alarming, saying the battery voltage is low. Don't worry about that. So what we're going to do is flash to firmware. We're going to pick that. Do you want to flash? We say yes. And it's gone blank. Don't be fussed with that at all. And as you can see, it's going through its writing to memory. And I think it's going to verify it too. Okay, now it's reading, just confirming that it's written to the Turnigy er9x correctly. And it looks as though I haven't bricked my son's radio control. By the way, while it's going through this process, you want your laptop connected or your PC connected to a power point because you don't want to lose power. Speaking of which, I haven't actually done that. Isn't that great? Right, yeah, that's okay. This alert is okay. Just press the down and it'll format the... There you go. It's all ready to go. er9x installed. So bring the throttle down to idle. Alarms. Ta-da. And that's it. It's pretty much ready to go. The only other thing you do need to do is actually go through and calibrate the sticks. And what I do is set these to midpoint, roughly. Bring that to the middle. And what we can do here, put this down here, I think it's easier. There you go, that's alright. So what we'll do is go, that's what we want, the calibration menu. Okay, so once we're in the calibration menu, hit the menu button to start. I've only done this once before, so I'm by no means an expert. Everything's set to midpoint, yes that is. Press menu when ready. So that's ready to go, so move the sticks. So as you can see, I'm moving the stick around. That's calibrated that one. I'll calibrate this guy now. And what we do is turn the knobs all the way down to the bottom and all the way to the top. I'll do this guy. You can see what it's doing there. And this one here too. And that is pretty much it. Press menu when done. And that's it. It's pretty much ready to go. You can go ahead and program it to your heart's content. It's pretty much done. So there you go. I hope you found that useful. I hope you haven't bricked or buggered up your Turnigy 9X. Anyway, thanks for watching.